everybody, and welcome back to That Artistic Lounge where we draw and talk about mental health. Today, I've chosen a comparatively simple drawing task. It's a cat silhouette, just shapes and shadows. But while I draw, I do want to talk about something important to me: how drawing helps with mental health. We do live in a fast paced world where a lot of us are on social media. We're surrounded by work all the time. We're stressed. There's so much noise, and it's very easy to feel overwhelmed in such situations. But I've found something that helps quite all the time, and that is drawing, sketching, painting, you name it, anything art. Even something as simple as just making a silhouette can bring calmness to the mind. So here I've used a Micron 08 size, and you can see me start with just outlining a part of um, the sketch that I've already made of the cat. You can take a second to pause the video and just make your basic shape, and then you can continue following me. So I basically don't like outlining the whole shape. I like going in parts, and that's what I've done here. So I outlined a part first, and then I started coloring in. While you watch me color in, I'm gonna talk a little more about mental health. So when our minds race, we tend to overthink, even spiral sometimes. But when you draw something like this silhouette, right, where I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, I'm drawing lines over and over again, and that sort of um, puts me in a focused state of mind where there is no space for intrusive thoughts. It's just lines, shapes, and the motion of drawing those lines and shapes. It's like a mental break, very close to meditating for me. And sometimes a lot of people with overthinking, with the problem of overthinking, tend to not be able to sit and meditate because you're so stuck with having to think about things. You cannot not think. And when I sit with my sketchbook and draw, I actually end up going in a very meditative state of mind. And so, even though it might seem boring to someone who's watching or someone who doesn't understand how difficult it is to sit and not be able to stop thinking, it actually is the most calming thing in my mind when I sit and I start doing something like this. Repetition has an incredibly calming effect, and it's like listening to waves or a clock ticking, right? And it helps you anchor your focus. Um, you just follow wherever your hand is going. Um, Studies have actually shown that creative activities like drawing or sketching or anything that you actually creatively do reduces cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and it actually is not in your head, it's actually also your body. Your rate slows down, your breathing evens out. Drawing becomes a safe space for your brain. And so, honestly, you don't even need to be an artist. You just need a pencil, a scrap of paper, and a couple minutes in a day. The more you do it, the more your mind recognizes it as something that helps you calm down, it helps you reconnect. Even 10 minutes, just pick your sketchbook up and at least do it 10 minutes a day, and you'll find that it makes a difference. Um, so, as you see in this drawing, what I have actually done is I've tried to create white spaces in the tail. I wanted to create the illusion of a tail rather than just having, it colored silhouette black. I've been following that method for the entire sketchbook, so it just looks nice and it's a different concept that I was trying out, and it actually turned out to look really good. After the tail, I move on to giving it some ground and a little shadow. It adds more depth to the sketch, and I think I don't want the cat to be flying in the air. And you can see now I've gone on to the second layer of filling in black. Um, the reason I'm doing that is so that it becomes more of a jet black, because the first ink layer, when it dries off, it's a dark gray. It's still not black, right? And so doing two layers helps it even out wherever you see like a couple white spots here and there, since I've been stroking lines and it's not just like a paint that I've been painting. So it is sort of different. So with ink, it's nice if you go on to do other directions and try to make it more evened out. It looks better. Anyway, so while I was talking about all of this heavy stuff, we have a very elegant, good looking cat on our sketchbook. Um, I'm gonna detail it out a little now with like a green pen, and then I also add a little bit of a white highlight to the eyes because, well, they have that spark, don't they? And then I might, you know, try to give it a little more purpose by giving him a toy. While we wait for the ink to dry, why cats, right? Because you must be thinking, oh, why is she just going on and on about cats in that sketchbook? Well, for me, cats are a symbol of elegance, and I find them really beautiful. I have two cats. They actually help me be less anxious. They, without even talking, they here for me all the time, every day, right? And um, so just watching them, observing their various antics, makes me want to draw them. I think they're funny, they're beautiful, they're smart, and they deserve to be in my sketchbook. Okay, now we're gonna erase lines since I think the ink is sort of dried up. We're gonna make sure all the pencil lines are erased properly. We're almost at the end of our video, and now I'm gonna encourage you to draw, because drawing is really helpful when it comes to calming your mind. You can start small, start with shapes. Um, you can follow me and try a cat. Um, but thank you for spending this moment with me and drawing with me. If this video has brought you any peace at all, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you. Bye.